Breaking news. Ric Grenell is a former director of national intelligence, is now a special advisor to the American Center for Law and Justice. But he, after leaving the government, continued to serve and role as a special presidential envoy for Serbia and Kosovo peace negotiations. And Rick, you're joining us via phone from the White House. You're calling in. Tell us the breaking news about what's happened historically between Serbia and Kosovo just now.
Jordan, it's really exciting. I am here at the White House. I just walked out of the Oval Office after we had a historic economic normalization agreement between Serbia and Kosovo. This is one of those problems that has existed for decades, and we've been stuck on political issues and political talk and politicians focusing on symbolism. What President Trump wanted to do was to try something new in the Serbia-Kosovo discussions. And what he said a while ago when he appointed me was, why don't we try to concentrate on economic development and job creation? Why don't we show the people of Kosovo and the people of Serbia just how beneficial it is to have economic normalization? We can worry about the political normalization later, but so many times politicians just try to forge agreements without showing the people the benefit of what could happen. And so we just signed a historic agreement which has a whole bunch of economic normalization, things like diploma recognition, and that hasn't happened between the two countries before. They've allowed now a one-year reprieve on the derecognition and recognition campaign between the two of them. So for 1 year, we will now concentrate on all of the economic normalizations, a first ever flight a first flight in 21 years between Belgrade and Pristina, the capitals of Serbia and Kosovo, a railway agreement which normalizes the border, an opening of the border for motor agreements. And this is truly historic and something that President Trump believed could happen if we flipped the script and instead of pushing on just politics, that we started to create economic normalization first, and it has worked.
Rick, let me ask you this. As you know, again, Ric Grenell serves as a special advisor to the ACLJ, but he kept on this role after leaving as acting director of national intelligence as special presidential envoy for Serbia and Kosovo peace negotiations. There's a part of this, Rick, that just broke that I think is very important for our audience, and that is that Serbia, as part of this deal, has agreed to move its embassy in Israel to Jerusalem. And even bigger, for the first time in history, Kosovo, a predominantly Muslim country, will be recognizing Israel as a state.
Yes, both of these things are happening, and we just actually had a conversation in the Oval between Prime Minister Hoti of Kosovo, President Trump, and Prime Minister Netanyahu. And that was just solidified, and there will be mutual recognition between Israel and Kosovo, as you say, a predominantly Muslim country in Europe. And we will have a embassy from Kosovo in Jerusalem. This is truly historic, and President Trump has pushed for it. It's pretty exciting.
Rick, just finally, got 10 seconds. Why is this important to Americans?
Well, first of all, we have a lot of economic interest in the region, so U.S. businesses will be able to expand. But we also have Albanian Americans, Serbian Americans, Kosovar Americans who care very deeply about this. It's going to make Americans safer.